Hey, what's going on everyone? Some black guy here filling in for Mr. Repzion, and I'm going to be talking about Black Lives Matter.
Supreme victory!
So I've already made a couple of videos on why Black Lives Matter is bullshit on my channel, but I wanted to tie things together in this one, and I also wanted to address some of the celebrity support and how the Black Lives Matter movement is kind of alienating themselves and isolating themselves and being really fucking stupid. Now don't get me wrong, I absolutely understand why a lot of celebrities would not want to just say what they truly feel about like some type of movement or ideology that they disagree with, because they would probably get crucified for it. So obviously a lot of them are just going to come out and say, I am for fill in the blank, and this happens to be Black Lives Matter. But I'm still disappointed about it because there's a lot of things in this movement that are fucking awful. I've already covered a lot of the stuff that they've done with blocking traffic, taking over events and rallies.
Why did Black Lives Matter halt the Pride Parade?
The reality is we halted the Pride Parade today because Pride Toronto as an organization has been constantly pushing Black folks.
No, unacceptable.
I was really nervous to get up here because there's a lot of white people in the crowd. And that wasn't a joke.
No, unacceptable.
We're shutting this event down now. If you do not listen to her, your event will be shut down right now.
No, unacceptable.
Rioting, going wild in the streets, and pretty much playing the victim card wherever they go. So I can't respect anyone that tries to blindly support this movement, especially to gain points, like someone like Bernie Sanders for saying something crazy like white people don't know what it's like to be poor.
When you're white, you don't know what it's like to be living in a ghetto. You don't know what it's like to be poor. You don't know what it's like to be hassled when you walk down the street or you get dragged out of a car.
Politics 101, now he wants you to support Hillary Clinton. Continue with that type of behavior, you have somebody like Jesse Williams who barely passes off as black. He gives a cringeworthy speech at the BET Awards about, Black Lives Matter, this and that, woe is me. And then you have somebody like Justin Timberlake who just comes out on Twitter, saying hashtag inspired or whatever, like say obviously supporting the movement and supporting what Jesse Williams says. And what do Black Lives Matter supporters do? They shit on him for culturally appropriating, hip hop and stuff like that. Even though, from my understanding, Justin Timberlake's been nominated for a lot of BET awards before, but now it's a fucking problem. Cultural appropriation is such a big deal nowadays. I did a video on that bullshit too, and I don't need to go into it anymore. And so there you go, burning more bridges. Here's a huge ally, huge celebrity, and then you want to fucking shame him for just coming out in support of Jesse Williams. I don't understand that. And I've read this from a really great article on the Federalist. Black Lives Matter types don't seem to understand that black Americans are only 12 to 13% of the population of this country, and that white people are still more than 60%. Math is hard. But let's run the numbers on that one. White people are still the majority, a very large majority, and they still dominate the apparatus of justice in this nation. So if you want to belong to a group that wants to influence that apparatus, you better start getting more white people to join in your cause. But you have a lot of Black Lives Matter supporters demonizing white people, calling them all white supremacists, and just completely shunning them, supporting and promoting segregation. So it's like, what are you doing? You're not going to help your cause. People are going to hate you, and that's clearly what's happening. I mean, look at me. I hate this movement. It's garbage. Moving forward with the celebrity support, you have the rapper The Game and you have the LAPD sheriff. They basically come together, they unite because they want to stop the violence. And they brought out some good statistics, like say 80% of the shooters / victims are black men, so that's obviously a huge problem. And there's a thing that we always talk about, black on black violence, black on black crime, that, Black Lives Matter just like to act like doesn't exist. They like to act like it just doesn't fucking, no, it's not a thing, and it's just about white people killing black people. That's the fucking problem. But we already know, statistically speaking, they even fucking bring it up. And what happens? Oh, The Game gets called an Uncle Tom. The Game gets called a coon. Oh, he gets criticized for a lot of his music that glorifies a lot of gang violence and stuff like that. But yet they kind of also miss the fact that it's music. It's an entertainment industry. It's not going to be completely all sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes you want to hear about some shit like that. As a matter of fact, one time when I was younger, when I was in about 7th grade, my mom wanted me to write an essay just to make sure that I knew the difference between fantasy and reality, if I'm listening to a lot of this gangster rap or whatever. And I told her specifically, I was like, I'm not going to write an essay because I totally understand that a lot of this stuff is fictitious, a lot of it's fiction. And, a lot of them saying about killing this and that, it's just like an act, kind of the way that Slayer, how, like satanic or whatever you want to say they are. A lot of those motherfuckers go to church still. Now, the last thing I want to bring up is Michael Jordan breaking his silence. He's tired of the violence too, so he comes out with a statement saying this: I was raised by parents who taught me to love and respect people regardless of their race or background. So I am saddened and frustrated by the divisive rhetoric and racial tensions that seems to be getting worse as of late. I know this country is better than that, and I no longer can stay silent. We need to find solutions that ensure people of color receive fair and equal treatment, and that police officers who put their lives on the line every day to protect us all are respected and supported. And on top of that, he donates $1 million to the Institute for Community Police Relations and $1 million to the NAACP. Sounds pretty commendable, right? Now, what do you think the Black Lives Matter movement did to him? Of course, they called him an Uncle Tom, they called him a coon, and all the good stuff that I hear as well, just for having a dissenting opinion. And, he didn't even have a dissent. He was just saying, hey, let's all get along. Same with the game. And then they're just getting shat on. You know, I sometimes get criticism saying that, oh, I never talk about the positive things that come out of Black Lives Matter. And the thing is, it's mainly because my channel isn't about that. I'm about calling out the bullshit. And of course, I recognize there are some good things. They do talk about some stuff that is very good, but here's the thing though. I don't really appreciate ideologies. Same as like Christianity, I recognize that there's some good things in the Christian communities. There are some good Christians. Same with any other religion, but overall, I don't support them. I don't like them. Black Lives Matter is a poisonous ideology as well. I don't support it. The unfortunate reality is whenever you have a movement, you're going to have the vocal minority that are going to virtually ruin everything. So that's what's happening with this movement as well, and I don't support it. I think it's garbage overall. I think we would be better without it. I think we could talk about some real problems without having to become some type of ideology and start fucking protesting and rioting and doing a bunch of other dumb stuff that nobody really appreciates. All right, I'm pretty much gonna end this video before I get too heated or anything like that, because honestly, I really do hate discussing this stuff. It really just pisses me off to no end. Hey, thanks for watching this video, and if you dig it, please like and share it, and you can hit that subscribe button. And if you want to check out my previous Black Lives Matter video, that'll be right there. And just big shout out to Mr. Repzion. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and you all have a wonderful day, and Papa bless.